Hi, I'm Nick Hansen, and welcome to The Consumer's Advocate, the only show where we bring the top wealth advisors in the world, and they reveal their top secrets for preserving, protecting, and even accumulating your wealth. We've got a great guest for you today, my good friend Brian Raleigh. Welcome, Brian.
Thank you, Nick. Glad to be here.
So, Brian, I know you're a family guy, you're a business guy, you're a coach, you're a player in hockey and baseball and everything else. So we got a lot to talk about today, but let's start with the family, man. Tell us a little about your family.
Well, I've got a beautiful wife who I met at Western Carolina. I've got 4 children. My oldest daughter, Michaela, is 17, a son, Jake, that's 15, daughter, Shaylin, that's 12, and my little guy, Brandon, who's going to be turning 7.
Wow, you got quite a few children there.
Full house.
I can fully appreciate that. All right, cool. So tell us a little bit about, I know about it because we've been working together quite a bit, but talk a little bit about your firm for our viewers so they understand kind of what you guys do.
Sure. We're a private, independent wealth management firm. We're in Cary, North Carolina. And basically, our niche is that we focus on retirees, or people what we call in that retirement red zone, 3 to 5 years out of retirement and getting ready to retire. And we just talk about that really represents a fundamental change in their life when you're getting ready to go into retirement, and doesn't the strategy or their portfolio need to also undergo some fundamental changes.
Got it. And obviously, I know you kind of have a mission. I mean, what got you into this, man?
I grew up small New England town, very blue collar guy. My dad worked in a factory, my mom did. And one of the things, as I got older, I saw a lot of people that who had made a lot of money, but made a lot of mistakes along the way. And one of the things I wanted to do was to make sure if I could help some of these people just by sharing some proven strategies with them. And again, kind of going back to what we were talking about, you need to make some changes when you're getting ready to go into that retirement phase. And that's really what I like to do. And we always, the name of our firm is True Wealth. And when we work with somebody, we welcome them to the True Wealth family. And so, and that's really the kind of environment we have around the office. They're not just clients. These people are our friends or part of our family. And we get to spend time with them. We have a lot of events with our clients. But that's really the biggest thing, was being able to help people avoid some of the mistakes that I've seen in doing this for the past 17 years now.
Awesome. And one of the things I want to make sure we cover, because there's probably some people watching this and they're saying, hey, I already have a financial planner, or I already have a broker, or and they think that they got what they need. But the biggest problem, and I know you can speak to it more than I can, but the biggest problem I've seen is that the person that you have who helps you accumulate wealth may not be the person who can help you distribute it effectively. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Nick. That's a really, really critical point. Accumulation, and this is what I talk about, and it's most people that we work with and the people that I serve do a really good job of accumulation. They spend 20, 30, sometimes 40 years and accumulate a lot of wealth. The challenge is that what got them there is very different than what they need to do in order to make sure they have enough income, and in order to make sure that they're going to be tax efficient in retirement. So most people just don't have a plan. They've got all these accounts and all these different sources of income or money, but they don't have a plan to put it all together. And probably one of the best analogies I can make when you're talking about somebody who focuses on accumulation and somebody who focuses on income and preservation like we do is, I always ask our clients when they come in, I said, do you have a doctor? And they say, yeah, I've got a doctor. How long? I've had him 30, 40 years. Great doctor. I'm sure he is. I said, let me ask you something. If you got diagnosed with cancer, would you go to see your general practitioner? I said, no, I'd go and see an oncologist. Why? Well, that's a specialist. And that's really the same thing that we talk about with our clients. Say, hey, that guy that you're working with is probably a great guy, and he got you to here, but it's probably the type of medicine that he's practicing is probably not the type of medicine that you need now that you're in retirement. We're going to focus on the things that are very specific to you, going from accumulation and transitioning for income and preservation. That's what we do.
That's awesome. And the cool thing is that I want people to understand that the stuff that you do is common sense. It's just not common knowledge. We're not doing any crazy butterfly upside down option spread stuff. I mean, this is all tried and true stuff. Just most people don't know how to do it, and most people don't talk about it. Can you talk a little bit about how you do the unique things you're doing to help people not lose that income they have?
Sure. There's a couple of things that we're really good at. One of them is income planning, and I'll talk about each one. The second one is how to properly manage market risk, and the third one is tax planning. That's really our niche. But on the income planning side, a lot of people don't know about products and strategies out there where we can guarantee their income and make sure it never runs out for both them and their spouse if they're in that situation. And give them a stream of income that they don't have to turn it into a pension. They don't have to lose control of the money, but it'll be guaranteed, and they don't have to rely on the market. And that's the biggest misconception out there, is that most people think in order for them to do well in retirement, that the markets have to do well. And it's absolutely not true. So we've got proven strategies where we can actually take the monies that they have and guarantee them a certain amount of income, regardless of what the markets are doing. And that's really, really critical when you're talking about retirement. You want to make sure you have enough money, and you want to make sure you don't run out. Okay.
Yep. And then, and just so people understand too, this is not some crazy Ponzi deal where people are, that's how you guarantee the income, because people probably never heard that, but it really is a tried and true method. It's insurance products that do that, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's a way to get good income streams, again, without depending on the market. There's no market risk with some of these products that we use, and that's not all we do,
right,
but that's a part on the guaranteed side that a lot of people haven't been exposed to. And so, that's a conversation we have and kind of educate our clients on, hey, how we can do that and find out how much do they actually need or want in retirement. And we can kind of back into that and make sure that they're going to have that. It's going to be there for them. It's going to be there for them spouse. The other thing is that we talked about is how to properly manage, market risk. And with my experience, I've seen this all too often where people have worked their entire lives. I saw this in 2000, 01, and 02, and their 401ks went to 201ks. You don't need to be in that situation. And again, in 2008, the same thing happened. And that's one of the things, that's one of our missions, my mission, is to make sure that that doesn't happen to the people that we work with. We're going to make sure that they're not fully exposed to the market, and they're going to have good income. They're going to be tax efficient regardless of what the markets are doing.
Yeah, and you mentioned briefly too, you guys are good at tax planning. Now, tax planning is a very different thing in the accumulation phase than it is in the distribution phase. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it certainly is. One of the big things that a lot of our clients talk about is they don't like paying a lot of taxes on their Social Security. And one of our basic tenets is we don't believe you should pay taxes on money that you aren't currently using. So a lot of times when we take a look at somebody's tax return, we can find out if they're paying taxes on money that they aren't currently using. And there's strategies to get that income or that growth sheltered and basically changing the tax code, changing the tax strategy, not the code. We can't change the tax code. We're good, but we're not that good. But we change the tax strategy of that money or how it's classified in order to delay or avoid those taxes altogether.
Very cool. And now I know you've got probably hundreds of great stories about people who you've loved helping and been able to really change your lives. Do you have a favorite one you can share with us or an example?
Well, I've got a lot. I'm thinking of one client who actually came to a workshop of ours that we had over a year ago, and he came in a year later, and he said, Brian, we're ready to do something. I'm ready to retire. And basically what we did is some of the things that we've been talking about, we put a piece of his portfolio, and we said, this is what we're going to do. We build what we call a SIPS plan, Sequential Income Planning Strategies. It's kind of unique to our firm. And what we did is we built him a plan that's going to guarantee him this much income starting right now for as long as him and his wife live. And the other money, he's got a couple of children that he wanted to leave a legacy. What we did is we said, okay, this money, we're going to set it up in such a way as where we're just taking the dividends or the interest off from it, and we're going to leave that lump sum alone and preserve that for his children.
That's awesome, man. Well, look, you've got a ton of experience, and I got one question for you. Like, if you could distill this down, what's your best piece of advice to help people make good financial decisions when they're getting ready for retirement?
I think the biggest thing, Nick, people need to be informed. I'm going to say work with somebody that you like and that you can trust. Because when I'm talking to people in our office or clients that are coming aboard, say, hey, this is going to be at least a 20-year relationship. So it's got to be somebody that you like and that you trust. but be informed, get all the information that you can in terms of making sure the person that you're working with has got the credentials, they're out there, writing articles, they're active in their industry, they're maybe writing a book, and they're really on top of the cutting edge strategies that are out there, because there's a big distinction between, as we were talking about earlier, the person that got you to where you are today in that accumulation phase, but also the person who you need to kind of take you through that home stretch and make sure you don't run out of money.
Absolutely, and the thing that I love about when you talk about educating people, you want to get outside of just your practice. I know you'd love to help the entire world, but you've actually made a step towards that. You're finishing up your book right now. Was it Rounding Third, Heading for Home, right?
Yeah, Rounding Third, Heading for Home, How to Hit a Home Run in Retirement. I'm very excited about that. I've got a lot of, as you know, I come from a baseball background and hockey, and so I've got a lot of baseball analogies in there, and we're talking about, hey, we're the doubles and singles guys, but the biggest thing we talk about are some proven strategies, things you want to make sure that you do as you're getting ready to go into retirement, and things you want to stay away from as well. I mean, there's things that you absolutely need to do, and there's some things that you probably should steer clear of as you're getting ready to go in that retirement phase. We share those strategies in our book and how to do that. And I put some personal stories in there about me growing up on baseball and playing in the backyard with all my cousins and my brothers and stuff like that as well. It was a lot of fun doing the book.
Cool, man. Can't wait to read that. Well, Brian, I know there's going to be a lot of people watching this, and they're in the Raleigh area and in North Carolina, and say, hey, you know what? I need that guy's help. How can they find you?
Well, they can call us at our office. It's 919-852-1215, or they can go to our website, which is truewealth.us, and it's true with no E. When we made up the name of our firm, one of the things I wanted to focus on was trust. That was critical in any relationship that we have with people. The second thing was the relationship, and one, I want to make it all about you. I want to make it about my clients, not about me. It's about them. So that's how I came up with True Wealth. It's about trust, relationships, and you, the client.
Well, that's great stuff, Brian. I thank you for coming on the show. truwealth.us, truewealth.us, and I'm sure they'll find you there. Thanks.
Thank you, Nick.